Oh, I'll start again. My name is Patricia DeMack. I'm the membership director at Burlington Lakeshore Rotary, and I'm very pleased and honored to welcome you all here this evening for our membership seminar, part of club leadership training. So on behalf of our district governor-elect Sandy Amaini and the chair of this event, Suzanne Zbinden, please feel welcome. I've just got a couple of housekeeping notes, and then I'll go ahead and introduce the hosts and speakers for our meeting. You will be muted most of the time. I'm going to ask you to make sure that there isn't background noise, whether your phone ringing or a TV on or the doorbell ringing, anything like that. Please keep yourself muted until Scott invites you to ask questions, at which time you can unmute yourself. But in the meantime, remain muted to keep our sound environment nice and clean. You can ask a question in the chat, and Suzanne will field those questions. If you want to ask a question, as I say, do it in the chat room. If Scott rather invites you to raise your hand if you need to ask a question during the session, but you'll be given a cue as to when you can unmute yourself and ask those questions. So the meeting is being recorded, just so you know, and it's my pleasure to introduce to you Scott Hebert, who is the district director for membership, and his panel, Carol Parsons, Brian Bennett, and Andrew Williams. And perhaps I'll tell you a little more about themselves, but I'll hand it over to you, wonderful membership people. Everybody enjoy the session.
Thank you very much, Patricia. I'm going to get started. Hopefully you're seeing my slides.
Yes, perfect, Scott.
Excellent. So I'm just going to share the agenda for tonight. We're going to give a bit of an overview from our incoming RI President, Jennifer Jones, a bit of theme. Andrew's going to talk a bit about our website and some of the toolkits that we have available for you to support your membership traction and addressing attrition. Carol's going to share a bit of information about some success stories with cluster meetings. Brian Bennett, who's our innovative club advocate, is going to share some options for how to organize your club. And then I'm going to share a little video from Doug Logan from Zone 28 about the 5 attributes of successful clubs. And then we'll have some breakout groups at the end. And unfortunately, Brian Carmichael couldn't be with us, so I'm pitch hitting for him. So just to give a bit of background, over the next year, one of the key themes is diversity, equity, and inclusion. And as the first woman president of Rotary International, Jennifer Jones knows firsthand about diversity and how to kind of shake things up. And I think she's going to be a fantastic leader this next coming year. And she said that diversity, equity, and inclusion really begins at the top. Growing our female members and members below the age of 40 is really important to diversify our clubs, to really get our demographics to reflect leaders throughout our community. And that's going to be part of her role this next coming year. A few of the areas of focus that certainly tie in and support a wonderful experience for Rotarians is creating an experience that engages our club members, that expands our reach. It really looks at our ability to adapt is really important. Is our club meeting the needs of its members? The impact and service is really important. we all represent Rotary. So in everything we do and how we act, how we welcome one another is really important. And we're all about creating lasting change. We're people of action, creating lasting change, not only in the world, but in ourselves. So there's a nice reference there, but it actually, a few things to remember: using respectful language, being supportive, fostering that welcoming environment for new members, and celebrating a multicultural, diverse group is really important. These slides will be available, so people know they will be available on the membership website at the end of this session. Just for context, we've had a fairly good year so far. You can see our district is currently outperforming our historic averages, and we're not too far off our target. So right now we're this red line, and our success track would be this green line. Typically, we lose members at the end of the year, and we're hoping not to. We would like to have a net growth of more than 0.5%. But right now we're doing better than average. This is our historical trend, is the yellow line. But through a lot of effort amongst all of the membership directors across all of the clubs, we definitely have lost some members, but we've definitely gained some members too during this year. So well done to everyone for your efforts on being welcoming and recruiting new members. I'm going to turn it over to Andrew now.
Hello, everyone. My name is Andrew Williams. I'm part of the district membership team. And our team has been working very hard diligently in the background, trying to scour all the clubs around the world for best practices about membership. And we've gathered quite a treasure trove of tools and best practices on our website under the membership committee tab. As you can see up on your screen there, there's assess your club, engage current members, there's develop and sustain fun and vibrant clubs, connecting with prospective members. A lot of great tools and a lot of great practices that we've kind of gleaned from all the different clubs we've interviewed and asked how they did things and how they succeeded in growing their membership. So I do encourage you, when you get a chance, to get onto our website, District 7020, and check out our membership option there, and go down and go through all the different links that we have up there. Some great tools, some great practices, a lot of great ideas on how to build your membership and retain your members. That's it for me.
Thanks, Andrew. We'll turn it over to Carol Parsons from the Rotary Club of Waterloo.
Wonderful. Thank you, Scott. Good evening, everybody. As Scott mentioned, I'm Carol Parsons, and I joined the Rotary Club of Waterloo just over 4 years ago, and I am thrilled to be the incoming president for our new Rotary year. I'm also the chair of our membership committee at the Rotary Club in Waterloo, and a member of the district membership committee. I also chair the 5 Club membership committee here in Kitchener-Waterloo. Along with, I see 3 of the members from that committee: Andrew Williams, David Fitzpatrick, and Karen Voisin. And so, as you can tell, I'm very passionate about membership in Rotary, and I'm excited to talk a little bit about the 5 Club membership committee that we started here back in November 2020. And it was actually because of a recommendation that came from our 5 Club president group here in Kitchener-Waterloo. They wanted our 5 clubs to come together and collaborate on how we can promote Rotary in our community, with the goal, obviously, of increasing our membership. So when we gathered together as a mighty group of 6 folks, we brainstormed on what our objectives were. And the 3 main objectives of our cluster group, our 5 Club membership committee, is to really increase awareness through public education. So I know you guys won't disagree with me when I say that Rotarians do incredible work in all our communities, but we are a very humble group and we don't brag enough. So I know when I joined Rotary 4 years ago and I would talk to folks that I have in my networks about Rotary, they're like, Rotary what? Rotary who? So I think improving the understanding and awareness in our community was definitely one of our major objectives at the 5 Club membership committee. We also wanted to build a better understanding within our clubs on what are the cultures of each of our club, what are the functions and activities of each of our individual clubs, in order for us to really share membership prospects. I know that sounds, quite interesting. I think that traditionally, and I'll speak for myself, having 5 clubs in Kitchener-Waterloo, you want to try to grow your membership. So, why would you consider sharing, prospective members? But our objective was Rotary first. We said we really want to, make sure that we can, communicate and share and educate the community about Rotary, get people interested in Rotary first, and then find the right club for them. So by really understanding what each of our clubs does, when we meet, when we, what are our charitable events, our charitable organizations that we support from a fundraising perspective, sharing that information amongst ourselves was really important, so we can make sure that we get people to where they are going to fit best. Because if they fit best, then they're likely going to stay longer. And then the last thing we wanted to do as a 5 Club membership committee is we wanted to share resources and information. So I know that David and Andrew and Karen will probably agree there's been some interesting aha moments between our clubs, learning how each other manages certain situations. And I think it's been a really great learning opportunity for all of us. But as I mentioned, we started in November 2020. And of course, we were in the middle of a pandemic, and our goal was to get out into the community, to educate, make people aware of Rotary and who we are. Can't really do that when you're not allowed to interact. So our committee had to get quite creative, and we did. Over the last year and a half, we've had some successes. We developed a common website. It's called www.peopleofactionkw.ca. Our goal was to really share stories about community partnerships, community service, and to provide that high-level overview of our 5 clubs. Ideally, directing people to that website, they could see at a glance what each of our 5 clubs do, what our fundraising objectives, what our pillars of support are, and then there was a contact for them to reach out to, who happens to be our district governor, assistant district governor, Paul Rostruck, who's also on the webinar tonight. And then he would kind of help that prospective member find their way to the right club. So that was a common website that we developed that has been quite successful. We also created a 1-page Did You Know document. It was interesting as we talked as a 5 club committee. We're like, we all know a lot about our own clubs, but if we're having a conversation with our friends or family, people in our networks, do we really know enough to be able to talk about Rotary, Rotary International, and the work that it does? So we created a 1-page document that gave stats and a bunch of really great information on who Rotary is, so that we could talk more about Rotary in general, as opposed to just our club. And that was something that was shared with all of our members within the 5 clubs. So that was a 1-page document that we created. We also decided if we can't get together in person, we're going to promote ourselves through print and social media platforms. So we created a People of Action campaign, and we looked for collaborative service projects to promote Rotary in our community. Our hope was that by promoting the great service projects that we do in our community, it would generate interest and, of course, hopefully increase membership. So we actually purchased a media package that ran from October 2021 to January 2022. It included a 1/4-page ad in our local paper. When's the last time Rotary has been promoted in the local newspaper? Not in Kitchener-Waterloo, at least maybe in other areas within the district. So we had a 1/4-page ad in our local paper. That was featured in the October 12th edition. The article was also featured online, where it lives forever, and digital impressions about Rotary were included on our local paper's website, really driving traffic to our new website that we created. And then the other thing we did, which I'm really excited about, is again trying to get creative. How do we promote Rotary when we can't get together in person? We decided to partner with other community groups in KW, really looking at reciprocal marketing opportunities. We wanted to find similar like-minded organizations that we could partner with. We could promote them on our website. They could promote us on their website. And one example I'll give you is an organization called Leadership Waterloo Region. It's an organization whose visions align with our vision, and that is to build a rich and sustainable community where citizens thrive and are connected to each other through service. So we will be sharing their story about who they are on our website and providing a link to their website. And then they actually have a leadership program where they've got about 20, 25 graduates every year that go through this program. And they have a closing retreat at the end of the year. And Rotary's been asked to participate on a panel discussion so we can talk to them about, as graduate leaders in our community, ways that they can partner with service clubs like Rotary to leverage those leadership skills that they just learned to do good in the community. And then we also will be inviting those graduates to attend a Rotary meeting so that they can get a firsthand kind of glimpse at what Rotary does within our community. So I will tell you that one of the challenges, so a lot of great successes that our 5-club membership committee did. I think we would all agree that despite the pandemic, we felt like we achieved some great things. One of the challenges was the approach that we used, which is to create this, opportunity to do good in the community, to leverage the service work that we're doing in the community to grow membership. One of the challenges was that we blurred the lines a little bit between us being a membership committee, community service committee, and in some ways a marketing and social media committee. So now that we're actually somewhat through this pandemic, able to meet in person, we are super excited that we are looking to host a town hall in person in the fall of 2022, where we could really bring people in to learn about Rotary, really promoting membership as opposed to using some of the other means that we've done over the last year and a half. So that's going to be something that hopefully you'll be able to hear some more news about in the coming months. So that is, to me, what when I was asked to talk about cluster meetings, and because we are here to learn about how to improve membership, our 5-club membership committee has been a huge success story, and I was really glad to be able to share that with you folks tonight.
Great. Okay, next I'm going to invite Brian Bennett.
Thank you, Scott. Can you advance the slide, please?
I shall.
There I am. I'm from the Rotary Club of Tavistock. I'm the past district membership chair, as some of you may realize. I'm also what's known as the innovative club advocate for the district, and I'll get into that in a few minutes. Next, please, Scott.
Oops.
Yeah. Okay, first of all, quickly, what's the role of a membership committee? Obviously, we know by attracting new members and keeping existing members, we strengthen clubs. So our job is to support the work of the clubs as they identify prospective members, introduce them to Rotary, and involve all members in meaningful ways. So we're here to assist anything you need in organizing, establishing, supporting new and different types of clubs. We are also here to help, we actually, through the RI membership lead program, will assign prospective leads to the clubs and help them join a club. And also we can liaise with club membership chairs on types of club membership, existing member retention, other support is requested. So that is our basic role. We're here for you. As I mentioned, I'm the innovative club advocate, and a few innovative ways that we're the Rotary is encouraging now: alternative club models and club types. There's a variety of club models now: a traditional Rotary club, a Rotaract club, satellite club, passport club, e-club, corporate club, cause-based clubs, alumni-based clubs, alumni-based clubs, interest-based clubs, and international clubs. There's also a variety of club membership types now. There can be as many types of regular membership as a club desires, provided it is defined in the club bylaws. The popular examples are corporate, family, younger professional, associate. I encourage you to go to the section of the website that Andrew was talking about, under the section called Connect with Prospective Members. The first tab there is Rotary Club Models. It's got all sorts of information and all the things I've just talked about. And also there's a beautiful club models frequently asked questions that you can walk through, and it gives you a lot of information. You have to sign into your Rotary, My Rotary account, and that's by the purple arrow there. So please check that out. Next, please, Scott. What we need to be innovative. We got to recognize that Rotary has changed. Our values and what we do is strong. We continue to focus on serving and share fellowship. We care for each other, and our community has grown, and we're all faced with physical isolation. We have the opportunity to create social cohesion. Life has changed from how we connect and how we operate. Next, please, Scott. Just a quick word about millennials. They're an important opportunity for Rotary. And some research here that was done on why do millennials join Rotary? They join it for local service. They want hands-on service. They join it for social. They join it for professional development, international service, and travel. But most importantly, it's local service. That's why millennials are interested in joining Rotary. Next, please, Scott. I think thanks everybody to everyone on the committee who helps attract new members and keep our attrition rate down. Our membership committee is listed there for you. And also we work very closely with the assistant governors. And that's my part. Scott, back to you.
Thank you. So the next part is, I wanted to share a video from Doug Logan, and I will share the summary here I'll send it out in a minute or in a couple of minutes in the chat, just so you can remember these. But Doug Logan's going to share some information that's really helpful, and it ties into a report that you should have received early this week. You should have received a stats package that's individual to each club. So each president and membership chair was actually sent to the assistant governors, and I hope they were able to send it because I didn't have contacts for every one of the clubs for next year's president and next year's membership chair. But I'm going to share this video, and I hope the audio works. If not, I know how to make it work. Just one sec. So somebody wave if they can't hear. Sorry, did you wave? Could you hear?
We cannot hear.
You cannot hear. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop this. Share it again. Hit that little share sound. Start it again.
The reason attrition. So to begin, why do we talk about attraction and attrition? The reason attrition is the percentage of people that are leaving your club each year. Attraction is the percentage of people who are joining your club each year. Okay, next bullet, Liz. Yeah. And the reason for talking about attrition and attraction rather than recruitment and retention is it allows us to compare one easily against the other. And quite simply, to grow, it's obvious that attraction has to exceed attrition. You can see in this example for this club that they have an attrition rate of 13.5% against an attraction rate of 10.9, meaning that their net growth rate is minus 2.6 people, members rather, every year. And the intention of this is to get people thinking about what that might mean to them. Then what we want to do is to talk to them so that they can compare themselves in their own situation to the common patterns that we see. So roughly 10% of the clubs are what we call experiencing a growth culture, meaning they have a high attraction rate, which you see on the y-axis, and a low attrition rate, which are percentages you see on the x-axis. There are roughly 10% of those clubs The other extreme are roughly 25% of clubs that are in what we call a danger zone. And those are the clubs that have a high attrition rate and a low attraction rate. Most clubs are somewhere in between, in an area that we call a steady membership, but they're not all the same. Some are stuck in place, which is our way of describing the club that has a very low attrition rate, but also a low attraction rate. And very often those are the clubs that are happy to be together. They're content with the work that they do, but they're aging in place. And every year the club gets 1 year older. We also have clubs that have high turnover. So their membership number may stay reasonably steady, but that's based on a very high attraction rate and a high attrition rate, what we call churn. And then we have other clubs that are experiencing what we call a fragile balance, and that they could easily tip either way. And then there are also other clubs that tend towards the lighter green that you see, which are leaning towards growing, or the orange, and they're leaning towards a decline. Create targets for themselves with attrition of less than 15%, 10% being an ideal, and an attraction rate that's 5% greater than attrition. A point to keep in mind, 10 to 15% is life happens. It's what we would normally expect in a membership organization. People leave, they get married, they take on new jobs, they have kids, and so on. Should we be focusing on your attraction rate and understanding what is the cause of it? Is it because of club culture? Is it because you're not active enough in the community or have the visibility that you could have in the community? Is the issue different? Is it related to your attrition rate? Again, club culture, but it could be club culture in a different way. Perhaps the club is one of those clubs that could invite 100 people a year and none of whom will stay because of the culture they have. Are they doing a poor job engaging members? Or is it some combination of both? So now I want to move on to share the results of the survey that we completed. Herb and I, both more or less at the same time, had a look at the number of clubs in each of our zones that grew during the pandemic. And we identified about 90 that had grown by at least 5 members during the year. I can hear somebody's microphone. I wonder if whoever that is could mute themselves. Thank you. So we're looking at clubs that experienced a net growth of 5 members or more. We sent a 11-question survey to these club presidents and received responses from 55, a wonderful response rate of 61%. So we took that information and the committee had a look at it, analyzed the results, and put together the common themes and patterns. And they were so obvious that they fell together really easily into what we're calling the 5 attributes of successful clubs. And they are, number 1, first, and it will be of no surprise to any of you, strong leadership. Clearly, leadership makes a significant difference. The second one is they had clear membership goals and or a growth plan for moving the club forward. Next, they were active in the local community and they held many events and service projects. They were visible in the community with strong media presence and strong public image. And lastly, but equally importantly, they were actively engaging their members in a very intentional and deliberate fashion.
So I hope you enjoyed the presentation and I hope it was audible. It did skip a bit because we had to pare it down to a nice 10-minute segment. So what we wanted to do, I'm going to shoot out the the attributes so you can recall them. Again, the attributes here, but I'll put it into the chat as well because I believe that goes to your, how do I do that?
I don't think they'll see the chat, Scott.
Oh, don't they see the chat?
Don't think so once they go off into the breakout room.
Okay, well, maybe.
You do have the ability to broadcast to the chat rooms, though. There's another option there if you look at the bottom.
Okay, yeah, so put it in the chat and then I'll do it as a
You'll
broadcast
broadcast
once we
it?
send
Okay.
everybody out. Good idea,
Okay,
Doug.
so there we go. So what I was hoping we could do is spend about 15 minutes going out into breakout groups and to think about which of these 5 attributes does your own club have within the groups that you're chatting with. And if you can share if there are any success stories in relation to any of the 5 areas or the 5 attributes. So we're going to break off into groups of 5 or 6 and then come back and share any success stories.
All right, off you go.
Thank you.
Scott, I didn't know if you wanted to go to a group.
I can go to anyone if you want me to. Or I can stay here, I'm fine.
It's entirely up to you. I have one group that's a small group.
Oh, sure, throw me in that one.
Okay. Let me add you
That
now.
4? Oh, that's okay.
Room 3. Is there a way that you can get into room 3 now?
I'll try joining it. Yep, it's allowing me.
Okay, perfect. Doug or anyone else, did you guys want to go? Sandhya, did you want to go in a room?
Sure, I'm happy to go wherever you need me.
Okay, room 4.
I'll
Doug?
stay here for now.
And then Sandhya, if you wanted to go to a room, you can go to room 3.
I'm good in hanging out here.
Okay, I'm going to just send this broadcast message. So give me a second here. Oh, it's not letting me do a cut and paste. Shoot.
Where, do you want me to read them off to you?
No, I got it here.
Okay, you may also want to pause the recording.
Good idea. Oh, I can't even press enter. It sends it. So strong leadership to clear membership goals and growth plan. 3, active in local community. 4, visible in local community. Strong public image. And 5, active in there's still 30 seconds in the breakout room, so that's why some people are still not back yet.
I thought I got kicked out.
All right, everybody's back in 16 seconds.
Welcome back. Wait,
I think
everyone back?
everybody's back, Scott. Yep.
Everyone's back. Okay. So I guess we'll start with group number one, if you don't mind sharing your ideas. Any success stories that you'd like to share and report back?
Which was group number one.
Yeah, I didn't know what number we were.
Well, I didn't have a number.
Oh. Well, I know I was in group three, so maybe we'll start with Paul. Do you want to do group three?
Okay. All right. Thanks, Scott. Yeah, we had good discussion. A couple of us from the Kitchener-Waterloo cluster, some from Brampton, and Scott from Cambridge. Yeah, the one thing that seemed pretty clear was that having a membership chair that is engaged is really important in terms of staying on track with the membership goals. One of the ideas that was expressed by one of the clubs was that seems to be working very well, particularly with keeping members engaged and engaging new members, is using the pod structure. I think it's sort of some clubs follow that structure and others don't, but might be worth revisiting for those clubs that are not using a pod structure. We just need a couple of ideas, right?
Yeah, a couple.
Okay, there we go. I'll leave it to others
Leave
to
room
sort
for
of.
others.
Group one was Cliff, David, Doug, Gaia, Joe, and Uche.
Who would like to report? One at a time, please.
I assumed Gaia was going to report only because she was the first to speak up.
Oh,
Yes.
go ahead.
Why don't you go, Joe?
um, Well, one of the strong ways that we found to engage more new members and to attract new members is collaborating with other not-for-profit groups when it comes to activities and fundraisers, to get them to get involved with what we're doing in our campaign that's going to benefit their group, in hopes that it actually encourages some of those people to get more involved with Rotary when they see the quality of service that we're providing. And that seemed to be something that everybody kind of touched on about working with other non-for-profit groups. I thought that was really important.
And
Anyone
group
else?
two was Brian, Gada, Josh, El Muthiani, Louise, and Neil. Sorry if I butchered some names.
Yeah, we had some good discussion. A couple of good things jumped out. One of the clubs of about 18 members had undergone a visioning session about a year ago. And that has really brought together all the members. They feel really engaged in the club now. And they think it's just, one of the things that exactly will help clubs. Some other clubs might be interested in pursuing that. Also, the Guelph Club talked about their 6 clubs are working together on a Guelph website, so that they're all be able to, just like Waterloo does and Kitchener-Waterloo does, they're able to promote all Rotary in the community. So that was a couple of good things that came out of our session.
Room 4 was Prith, Paul, Ralph, Sohail, and Wayne.
Yes. We were having a discussion over here with Wayne and Sohail, and we were having the difficulties but experiencing to make them new members also. But my feeling was that I should bring some young bloods into our club so that we may have some more activity going on. But right now we are having 11 members from 17, which I would like to bring it back now, hoping with Gaia to do something good.
Yeah, Mr. Chugger is my president. I'm the vice president of Mississauga Malton. So as I was saying before in the breakout room, we were trying to engage more youth to be involved. So we're doing a youth membership drive as well to get the older people to sponsor a youth to join Rotary as well.
Great idea.
And room 5 was Karen, Martin, Pat, Sudi, and Tracy.
I guess I'll go. Just a few ideas to help in membership. A lot of people are joining because of service. We've been challenged through COVID that limited service opportunities, especially for younger members that want to make things happen. Hopefully we'll get more active service. The other aspect is fellowship, to people enjoy each other's company, get together to celebrate success and have a smile on your face. Pay special attention to inclusive, both in terms of gender situations, but also in finances. If you want to recruit young people, the cost to join, the cost to participate, the cost to go to an expensive president's changeover may inhibit people. And make sure we're welcoming, and as we change into the future, make sure we're evolving that change and welcoming people. So there you go.
Great. Thank you, everyone. I think those were all the groups. So in the remaining 2 minutes, I'm going to share, and I hope no one will mind that I'm sharing Acton's results. Do you see it? Okay. Way to go, Acton. So each of the clubs were sent a summary. It went out by cluster. So if you haven't yet received it, you should receive it soon from your assistant governor. And this worksheet will help you kind of identify the unique situation of your club, because it is hard to suggest, like the 5 attributes seem to apply across all clubs, but your unique situation depends on what your attrition rate is, what your attraction rate, and what your annual net growth is. So by working through this, you'll see a 5-year summary of your membership history. You'll be able to plan starting in July 1st. And actually this should say 2022, I think, but oh no, that's what it was in July 1st, what it is currently. And you can estimate what you expect your membership to be July 1st of next year, what you anticipate or what your goal is, and then to be able to figure out how to achieve your club growth through retention or attraction and minimizing attrition. So we have it for every club, but I'll just leave it at that. And if you have any questions, by all means, reach out to any member of the district membership committee or your assistant governor. Thank you very much.
Yes, Scott, I had a question. Will they be able to post that up on Club Runner if we can download it from there?
I can't do this because it's individual. This went to each AG. So reach out to it should have gone to your president of your club and your assistant governor and your membership chair.
Okay, no worries.
Is it going to the current president or the president-elect for the upcoming year?
Probably both. I asked them to send it to both. So if there's a known president for next year and a known membership chair, it could have gone to them as well. But regardless, your AGs will help and your president should have it. If they don't have it right now, they should get it in the next day or two. Any other questions? Thank you, everyone, for your time tonight, and thanks to the whole committee.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck out there.
If anyone is attending the youth session, you can just stay on the line. It's the same link. We won't cause any more trouble trying to get on a new link, everybody.